let's get into some bets that we have for the Wednesday college basketball card, Justin. Ole Miss at number 1, Auburn. Auburn opens on FanDuel minus 13.5, minus 105. KenPom has this one at Auburn minus 13. I was digging into this at Synergy. Auburn still allowing a 32.5% clip on unguarded catch and shoot threes. So opponents still missing wide open threes. Yet Auburn, or I guess that correlates with Auburn having the 10th best three-point defense overall in college basketball. They failed to cover their last 2 double-digit spreads against Arkansas midweek last week and against Georgia over the weekend. Both of those point spreads around Auburn minus 16. Conversely, Ole Miss not only failing to cover, but losing both of their last 2 games. We went head-to-head over the weekend. I'm still a little upset that we haven't gotten news whether Matthew Morrell is truly hurt or not. That is a really big part of this handicap. I heard earlier in the season could be a knee thing, but on the injury report, on the SEC injury report week over week, it's listed as undisclosed. Only played 12 minutes, and when Ole Miss's half-court offense went into a slog, where is Matthew Morrell? So how hurt is he at this point? Again, huge part of this handicap for me. But anything for you on this game before I dive in?
This is where you grab the mic and make the joke. I don't have an edge. I'm not making a bet. I don't have an edge. I'm not making a bet. Interestingly enough, I mean, you're right. The 3-point luck for Auburn on defense, 7% differential in conference play alone. So teams expected to be shooting a lot better against them from deep. But, I mean, still, even if teams met their expectation, they're a top 4, top 5 3-point defense in the conference. What's more interesting is that they're the number 1 mid-range defense in the conference on expectation. And that expectation is also 7 points lower than expected. So they are not just decent at their mid-range per shot quality. They're not just awesome at mid-range defense per shot quality, best in the nation. Conference, best conference, but they're getting lucky, or it's brewing, right? We know the mid-range is more impactable from height. We know he's that type of player, so it's probably less so in the 3-point because he's not really guarding a lot of threes. But in the mid-range, yeah, I mean, they are actually as good as they're performing, maybe not as good as shot quality says, which is worse. But still, the expectation is the best in the conference. So I have trouble going against Auburn here at all. I'm not taking it. It's probably right there within, a 4-point range, 3-point range on either side of what my true number is. So no touching for me.
Well, I'm going to go down with the ship, Justin. I have been an Ole Miss stan this entire season. They failed me the last couple games. I was on a late spread against Mississippi State. Doubled down in the second half. I also had Ole Miss against Vandy, and I lost to you last week. Credit to you for getting Ole Miss the doors to the window on Saturday. But first meeting between these two teams, Ole Miss missed 11 free throws, failed to cover the 6-point line on the season, above the Division I average, shooting 73% from the charity stripe. 5-out offense. Should be able to take advantage of that Auburn drop coverage. Like you said, Jani Broom isn't guarding threes. Therefore, they should be giving up a higher 3-point percentage to the opposition. And you go back to the game over the weekend. This is where you really need Matthew Morrell. Ole Miss was down 19 in the first half to Vanderbilt. They went on a 31-10 run with 5 minutes and change left in the first half through the first 5 minutes of the second half. Then Vanderbilt holds Ole Miss scoreless for about 5 minutes up until 2:20 left in the second half. Ole Miss and their half-court offense, when they aren't turning opponents over, if they aren't hitting threes, if they aren't generating offense in transition, getting to the rim or getting to the 3-point line, you need Matthew Morrell on the floor. So I'm going to go with the hunch that Morrell, after playing only 12 minutes, wasn't in foul trouble, is going to be healthier for this matchup, and Ole Miss's 5-out offense spaces out Auburn's drop coverage, and you shoot better at the free throw line than he did in the first meeting. If all those variables happen, I think Auburn is still overvalued in the market at a 13, 14-point line. We'll see if this line creeps up to 14 or shifts in Ole Miss's direction. But either way, I think Ole Miss has a bit of value here.
Yeah, I don't think I think it's hard going against Auburn, but I mean, I just looked at my numbers. Mississippi is the side with my lead, so not really going to disagree with you, but I probably have it like right there at like 11.5 or so. So,
but
good
2-point edge, like that's substantial.
It's enough, but it's hard against Auburn, who routinely has edges because of shot quality data, like almost sort of having trouble with Janai Broom, so we're kind of naturally down on Auburn time and time again, and a lot of the times, like I honestly should just build in like an extra factor where like the top teams and adjusted maybe get a little bit of a tweak, but it's just hard. It's just hard to judge for him, so I don't think they might be one of my least bet teams of the year. Like I probably don't have many, or at least against them. I do not have many bets against them because it's hard for me to properly, model Broom. And again, that's why I'll stay away. Yeah, the shot quality is probably going to lean Mississippi on that as well. But if I widen my error bars because I know Auburn troubles my style, then yeah, it's a pass.
One thing that can go against Ole Miss in a big way is second chance opportunities. Auburn, one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the SEC. We saw it against Georgia over the weekend, especially when Georgia tried to go zone. Bulldogs covered, but they were within striking distance, 6-8 throughout that second half, and then Auburn really pulled away in the final couple minutes, won that game by double digits.